It's Thursday night and it's Spitball time, and I guess at the time we're recording this, it's very warm and we're all very sweaty, and that's where the Spitballs lubricate from. There we go.
There we go.
Ooh, yuck! I'm gonna take the lead on this one. Go first, and we're doing one Spitball each because we figured the three of us will probably drag on the conversation for a good amount of time. All right.
Yeah, two.
That landed. Oh, damn it. We've already spoken about Dude, Where's My Car on the show before. So maybe if I just move a little bit to the left, I was going to say we've got Dumb and Dumberer.
Oh, God.
Is that the sequel or the new sequel or the original sequel?
The one with Eugene Levy and the two younger guys, the prequel.
Oh.
When Harry met Lloyd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
the only good thing about that, I think, was some of the promotional artwork where they sort of had that evolution.
Yes,
the chart.
The promo art was good. Did Lin Shay pop up in this one at all?
Yeah, and Eugene Levy.
Of course, Eugene Levy.
And what was her name? Rachel Nichol from P2, and I think she's in one of the new Star Trek movies. But P2 was kind of the big thing that. She's like the love interest, the hot sorority girl, or whatever it is that they go after.
I've only ever watched it the once. I've got it there because it came in like a 2-pack.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. That's fair. It's like my friend.
Yeah.
He owns Teen Wolf 1 and 2, but he was shattered when he realized they were on the same disc and he couldn't destroy Teen Wolf 2.
We have had this conversation before. I hate this
many
guy,
times.
Man.
Dirty Darv, he's a great friend of mine. Ben loves him. You love Dirty Darv. You've been.
I know. I know
Darv.
Darv. He's a good guy.
He is.
But
he hates that
on.
Jason Bateman. I tell you what, he hates that Jason Bateman. It's incredible.
I love
really
that sequel. Him. I love that sequel.
I love Jason Bateman. You know,
if only they'd got the original styles back.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. It's
all right.
Film.
So, do you guys want to talk about any of the Dumb and Dumber? Maybe the Dumb and Dumber 2.
I still haven't seen it.
I thought it was good. Like, I was pleasantly surprised. Like, I went in because we'd had a run of films like Anchorman 2.
Yeah.
We'd had another Zoolander 2, maybe. Yeah, we'd had those two come prior to this.
Yeah.
And there had been like a decade or more between these sequels. But with Dumb and Dumber 2, there was like, what,
20 years.
16, long time. Yeah. It was
a long stretch of time. The problem, I liked it too. I thought it was a solid movie, but my only problem with it was that they kind of took it from a PG movie to an R-rated movie, and that didn't really float with me.
Yeah, I think that's what's probably going
to be great
in the period of now. It was really, there was a lot of those dependent on shock value type of jokes and stuff like that, because that's where comedy's generally gone. Seemingly,
like that scene. You know that scene where you got the woman in the hospital bed and he sort of puts his arm between her legs and right up her and then pulls out dust.
Yes.
Nope.
No, it was in the trailer.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. It reminds me of the scene in Grimsby. Have you seen Grimsby?
I have seen Grimsby.
It was a Mark Strong, and they've got the fan. Yes. Grimsby's underrated.
And
Grimsby's underrated.
The kids throwing the coins.
Yes.
See, they left the best gag for the last scene.
Oh, yeah. So good.
No,
so good.
In Grimsby, like literally that scene when they're hiding in the elephants. Is it the elephants or the rhinoceros or whatever it is they're hiding in?
Yeah.
And then the other one comes to have sex with it, and you see them inside getting poked by the giant elephant cock. Like that.
Do you remember, a week?
I almost felt sick. I was laughing so
hard. A week
hard.
before that film got released, one of the late shows, whether it was James Corden or one of those shows, played that clip for the audience, but they only filmed the audience reaction. And it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. That's the first time people have seen it. It's a conservative audience, and you're watching this. Hilarious.
That's so good.
All right, who wants to go next?
I'll take a run at it. I've got this sweaty ball in my hand.
I don't reckon that's going to stick. That looks too tight.
I don't know. She's pretty loose.
Okay, go for it. We won't see anyway.
Well, I've got so many. I'm going to go over here, which is Blu-ray H through S maybe. So here we go. I'm going to close my eyes and just go for gold. staring right into a light. Oh, okay. That's a weird one. This is one I own the Blu-ray. It's still in the shrink wrap. I haven't seen it since it played theatrically. It's a film called Men, Women and Children, which was directed by Jason Reitman.
Jason Reitman. Adam Sandler's in that.
And yeah, I'm a huge fan of Jason Reitman. This is probably, of his entire catalogue of films, this is probably I still really enjoyed this film. I think it had a lot more promise than what it ended up being. But it's probably my least favourite of Reitman's films, which, that said, the guy's had not made a bad film. He's made some, ones that were okay, but not quite great.
I felt like
a lot of his career.
I felt like that one was trying to be a little too intellectual for its own good. It felt like it was going into P.T. Anderson kind of territory.
Definitely. It felt like a P.T. Anderson, like with this kind of like, trying to interlock the stories, but also have this kind of overarching, unusual sort of little thing going on.
There's a veneer. There's a glossy veneer over the top of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I did enjoy it. I mean, Emma Thompson was really good, and you rarely see her in anything these days.
Doesn't Adam Sandler
Actually, I think she might have been the narrator. I think she's the narrator in it from memory. Yeah.
Doesn't Adam Sandler get busted jacking off to the computer in that?
Yes, he does. I think, but hopefully it's not to his daughter's friend or something. I can't remember.
I think something like that.
There's so many unusual subplots with it, and Ansel Elgort's in it as well. Like, this is one of his earlier roles, I think, post The Fault in the Stars, but he's actually really, really good in it as well. I think he may be driven to suicide in it. It touches on a lot of good themes, but it's also, it has that whole...
A lighthearted comedy, did you say it was?
It's strange.
All the things that the teens are doing that the parents don't know about, like via the
actually
sexting and everything else, and then what the parents are doing without the kids knowing, and it's the internet.
A better way to sell it to people that haven't seen it, more than P.T. Anderson would be, it's like a Todd Solondz kind of...
Yeah. It's
kind
like Todd Solondz Lie meets P.T. Anderson. Yeah.
I'm just looking at the IMDb because I haven't seen it, but Timothée Chalamet and Caitlin Dever, like two kind of upcoming kind of stars, and Jennifer Garner and Rosemary DeWitt. Yeah, like it's an ensemble. It's a pretty good cast.
Yeah, big cast, and like I mean, it is a good film. It's just not, it's not Thank You for Smoking. It's not Tully. It's not In the Air. It's not, some of the better stuff that he's done. But yeah, look, now that I've hit that, I forgot I even owned it.
But look, if every director has hits and misses, and that's his miss, that's a pretty good miss. Like it's
absolutely. Let's just hope that Ghostbusters Afterlife is a total hit. We've waited long enough. It's got to be great.
Damn straight. Ben, your turn. Lube up, mate.
My turn.
Get that sweaty ball out.
We just give it a cricket player's.
Oh no! See, that's hand sanitizer. That's not going to be good.
Oh mate!
Just give it a cricket player's rub.
And he's landed on nuts.
Save your legs.
No, this is landed on Mr. Destiny.
Oh, cool. With James Belushi.
With James Belushi and Michael Caine and Linda Hamilton, I believe is his kind of wife before he kind of, because the conceit of the film is that he wishes that his life had been different when he was in high school. He's playing a big baseball game and he misses the last home run that would have won the game for everyone, and he believes that moment is what ruined his life, and he became destined to be a loser. But he's married to Linda Hamilton. But when he goes into his alternate reality, he hits the ball and he becomes the son-in-law of the owner of the giant corporation he works for, and he's married to Rene Russo.
Is that Michael Caine? Michael Caine, is he in that? Michael
Caine is the barman / wish granter angel character.
Yes, the Clarence.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's in that kind of era where Jim Belushi could almost do no wrong. He was doing like Taking Care of Business, Real Men, Mr. Destiny. Like he just had like this string of great films.
Yeah.
K9, which it's all been ruined now that we've learned that he's a total cunt.
And he loves the weed, remember?
I guess I guess we won't be having him on the show.
He'd never do it, mate. He's a total cunt.
But we can get the German Shepherd from K911.
Yeah.
You can't get the one from K9. No, he's dead.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah, no, he does all
He's
the
hanging out with Jim.
he does all the marijuana stuff, and I saw last week because I follow him on Facebook, and he had one of those crucifix joints. You know what movie was that where they had a joint with the crucifix? Like they had one joint with two joints coming out the side, and he was smoking that blunt.
I feel like that's something from a Wayne's movie.
Oh, it was a
Or it has to
movie.
be one of the
It was a movie.
one of the younger Waynes.
I don't remember which one. There's something for our
Who are the younger
viewers
ones?
to look
There's
up.
Marlon and
Sean. Sean Waynes.
Sean
and
Waynes is the
Marlon.
one who looks like Snoop Dogg.
He's the one from 50 Shades of
Always
Black,
does that
yeah?
one. Yeah.
They're the two talents responsible for Little Man and White Chicks.
Two fantastic films.
Oh, so no, 50 Shades
should
of
have
Black
been
was
Oscar
that
nominated.
because there's 3 generations, yeah? So moving below them.
Oh, he's the other chap, yeah, from the Haunted House movie, or is...
Scary movie.
No, there's one called
Haunted House 1 and 2.
Right.
Yeah, 1 and 2, which are like Paranormal Activity.
Which
it's
it's essentially like the 3rd scary movie in the Wayne's universe.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a hard watch. I didn't make it to the sequel.
Which one was in?
I made it through the first one.
Which one was in Let's Be Cops?
Oh, that's Damon Wayne's son,
right?
Isn't it?
So
That's
many
Damon Wayne's son.
He's
the one that was in New Girl. He was in the New Girl pilot, but then when it aired,
is he the son, the coach? And he leaves the show. He leaves New Girl and then comes back because he was
back later.
He had another show that he was committed to in the pilot, and then he got picked up, and then it crashed. And because the other guy, the guy who they replaced him with, he has gone on to bigger and better things as well. And then Coach came back. He played Coach, and the other guy was it was like a weird.
It's a very unusual universe, that New Girl universe. Very strange, very strange indeed.
I did like it, but it's a very odd one.
I find the Wayne's universe a strange one. I can't figure them out.
Absolutely. Look, to be honest, I've never liked any of the Waynes outside of Damon Wayans, but I loved Damon Wayans, and mainly because he came out of In Living Color with Jim Carrey, and I loved all his early catalogue of movies: Blank Man, Mo Money. I saw some of these films theatrically.
Major
with my
Pain.
sister.
Major Pain.
Business is good. Last week? Yeah. How about I rip that thing off and kick it around on the ground?
Happy. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Damon Wayans was great. Like he
Beverly Hills
played
Cop.
the, Oh yes,
I loved
Tailpipe and the banana. Banana in the
Keenan
tailpipe.
Ivory Wayans was great because he directed Raw and Delirious, and he's in Low Down Dirty Shame.
Yep,
Low Down Dirty Shame,
which is a fantastic.
And
film.
he would have been in Don't Be.
I'm going to get you, sucker.
Drinking juice in South Central.
I don't know if he's in that. He's the star of I'm going to get you, sucker.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
Which was fantastic.
He directed Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
right,
which is arguably that is their best film. That is a great film. Yeah.
And did you guys watch? Did you guys watch My Wife and Kids?
With
was that something that was on?
I saw a few episodes.
It went, or maybe it's still going, but it was a long running series.
It seemed to go for a long time. It definitely went into syndication. I hated it. It kind of ruined Damon Wayans for me. And then he brought it back with Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
I really like Lethal Weapon, the TV series.
That's a strange one.
Hang on, is Damon Wayans in the Lethal Weapon TV series?
He's Murtaugh.
He's the Danny Glover character, yeah. And then they had to replace Riggs because Riggs got caught up in some.
But they didn't. They didn't like replace the. They didn't like have a new Riggs. They had a whole new character.
Yeah.
Right. Shit. No, that's cool. I didn't realize. I had no idea. Oh, cool. So that's good. Damon Wayans has actually come back and doing something good again.
That first episode is an interesting one. The Lethal Weapon actually shows like the death of his wife and all that kind of stuff.
Because he's got. But Damon, I think Riggs actually. It's Murtaugh. I think it's his second wife. I think I'm not sure if it's actually his.
Yeah, they changed the character.
They changed the whole dynamic of his family life and stuff.
Yes,
it's a pretty good show.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Oh, well, good one, lads. Do we give Jarret is a guest here? Do you want to do one bonus spitball, Jarret? And
yes, well, I've got an extra one. I prepared an extra one just in case.
That totally was not prepared.
Arise.
That was not prepared, but yeah, go for it.
Well, I had no idea that we'd only be doing one, but then it makes sense. There's 3 of us, so let me lick this thing.
Oh my god, that's disturbing. Lick it again. Now lick it again.
Salty. Salty.
This tastes like vintage Jarret.
Yes, it does. It's a 40-year vintage. It's quite nice, yes.
And your time's up.
H through S. H through S. All right. God help us. There's so many films here that are still in plastic. Oh, cool. Okay, this is a cool film that I actually saw not that long ago, last year. So the shrink wrap is broken. It was a blind buy because I hadn't seen it, but I thought, wow, it's got 3 of my favorite people in it. It's got to be good. It's Juliet Naked with Ethan Hawke, Chris O'Dowd, and Rose Byrne.
Is this the Nick Hornsby? Nick
I remember you telling me about this one.
It could
the
be.
Nick Hornsby.
Yeah. Is it based on an? Yeah, of course. It
Nick
certainly is
Hornsby
a Nick Hornsby type of story because you've got a couple that are sort of unhappy, and the well, they're not married, but they're I think he doesn't want to commit to getting married. Maybe anyway, he's really invested in like this sort of grunge movement from the States in the early 90s, but one musician in particular who's Ethan Hawke, and this musician only ever recorded one album, and so there's this cult of celebrity around him because like what would happen if he recorded another album, and everyone wondered what happened to him, and it's all a bit of a mystery, and he crafted one perfect record. And this guy is literally obsessed, owns like that album on every vinyl variant, every live bootleg imaginable, like an Uber fan. Yep. And Rose Byrne is always trying to, get him to grow out of being this sort of teenage sort of boy and think about their future together, have a child, properly set down. And that's the other thing too, because I think it's set in, I can't remember whereabouts in Europe or the UK it's set, but it's sort of like an island sort of community. So I think Rose Byrne's sort of isolated as well. Like she's moved there to be with him. So she doesn't really, she really wants to focus on the relationship. Anyway, strange sort of things happen, and somehow Rose Byrne gets in contact with Ethan Hawke's character, the aging rock musician, who's, been silent. Anyway, they sort of form a bit of a friendship. That blossoms into a romance, but by the time it blossoms into a romance, Ben, don't worry, Chris O'Dowd and Rose Byrne have well and truly split. And in fact, I think Chris O'Dowd cheats on Rose Byrne before that anyway, so that adultery sort of aspect's taken out of the thing.
Excellent.
And so it's a really cool kind of romance about like sort of, finding somebody that you wouldn't expect, and you're coming from completely different backgrounds, and it's that cool aspect of, always I kind of ask that question, when you are a celebrity and you fall into a relationship with someone, was that person aware of you as a celebrity? Were they a fan of your work, or are they coming into it because just as you as a person or whatever? And this addresses that sort of, and it's a nice romance, it's funny, and it's real. Well, and I really liked it. And it's got a banger of a title, Juliet Naked.
The hook for me was the Chris O'Dowd's character having this character that he idolizes, who ends up the person he should hate. There's that mind game there. Do I love this guy because he's my idol, or do I hate him because he's with my ex? Yeah.
Well, and never meet your idols.
Yeah, exactly, and addresses that as well. But yeah, it's a terrific film. So if you guys haven't seen it, I thoroughly recommend it.
I have.
It was a real sleeper.
Not. Oh, I remember you telling me about it a while ago. Yeah. I remember you telling me about it, and you actually, because I was not going to watch it because it had the adultery stuff in it, which is something that I don't particularly like to watch in movies, for odd reasons, not the reasons you would think, but. When you told me about it, I was like, "Oh, this actually sounds pretty good," because I like Nick Hornsby's novels, and I love High Fidelity, the film.
It's like a Notting Hill version of High Fidelity.
Yeah, right. And I like Notting Hill, so that works out well.
Same. All right. Well, good one, guys. Good one. Well, that's it. That's our Spitball for Thursday night. So make sure you listen to the podcast next week where Ben and I will be discussing Unfaithful. Or
I've only watched in total 10 minutes of that film.
Is it Jonathan Lynn? Is that his name?
Yes.
Adrian Lynn.
Adrian Lynn.
Adrian Lynn.
Yeah. We'll be picking apart his catalogue. Thanks, Jarret. It's awesome to have you on board. Can't wait to do it again.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Catch you next week, Ben.
See you next